Welcome, everybody, to Sonic Project 06. Who is the character that we are going to be playing today? Anybody know?
Anyone?
Yes, hello.
Hello.
I got you.
Who is our story?
All right. It's Sonic.
Yeah!
Let's go!
Ooh, thank goodness.
Woo!
I mean, close race, everybody.
Yeah, close race. Good race, everybody.
It was within like $5.
Amazing. Well, you guys will not be disappointed by this. This is an incredible run. So before we get started, there is another incentive that's going to be happening during the run. At the end of almost every single stage, I will ask the amazing Kungfufruitcup which spin effect I should switch to for the next stage. For you guys, it is the choice, and whichever one is leading is the one we'll switch to. You get to either pick between the Sonic Adventure 2 spin ball, you can pick between the default Sonic Project 06 spin ball, you can take the retail Sonic 06 spin ball, or the original one, I believe, as it is on the donation tracker, and then finally, you get the Sonic Adventure 1 spin ball, which is an orb, which I know is pretty great around here. But let's pick a different one, okay. What is our first spin ball for the run?
It's going to be original Sonic 06.
All right, starting off strong.
Yes, sir.
So let me switch the camera real quick here, and also thank you to everybody for for meeting the Easter egg donation incentive. You're definitely going to want to see it because it's super awesome. Let's do this. Sonic Project 06 in 3, 2, 1. Let's go! So if you have never seen a Sonic Project and or 06 before, this is a fan-made remake made from the ground up in the Unity engine by lead developer ChaosX and a whole bunch of other awesome people in the Sonic fan community that basically seeks to transform the original Sonic 06 into the Sonic Adventure 3 it was always trying to be. Starting off in Wave Ocean with our titular hedgehog here, we got a bunch of familiar moves. Sonic can jump, he can do the homing attack, he's got the bound attack from Sonic Adventure 2, he's got the light dash, and he's got the 06 moves, the spin kick and the gems. The gems are 8 colorful hunks of rock that when equipped to Sonic's shoes one at a time are going to allow him to activate a different ability. Throughout section 1 here, we've been seeing the blue gem used, which gives Sonic a short burst of speed, kind of like a dash panel. And with the rainbow gem, an unused thing from the original game, added back in here, we can transform into Super Sonic. So throughout the run here, we're going to be using Super Sonic a couple times, but an interesting thing about this is that he is not the end-all be-all to going fast in Project 06. Since we are using the Rainbow Gem and not the Chaos Emeralds to transform into him, we cannot switch to the other gems freely, unlike what we can when we're normal Sonic. The more extreme augmentations that each of the gems give to Sonic's abilities are much more useful for the stages, or for the parts of the stages where the gems are usable. However, that doesn't mean that Super Sonic isn't useful in the speedrun at all, because Project 06 has a couple gimmicks, including this one, mock speed sections, which I'm going to throw it over to my 5 Michelin star commentator Gordon Ramsay to explain what's cooking up here.
Thank you very much, Stelmo. Now, Sonic 06 is a game of gimmicks. Scattered throughout Sonic's 10 stages, 4 of them will be ending in a mock speed section where you lose access to some of your standard abilities. You can't homing attack, you can't spin dash, you can't freely swap the gems, but you constantly move very, very fast. Now, one caveat. If you were Super Sonic before you entered the section, you get to keep that transformation for 1 attempt. And while you're Super, you are completely immune to damage, and you move a lot faster than normal, so I mean, obviously, in the speedrun, we've got to start routing around, collecting 50 rings, and transforming just before we hit the end. Now, that increased speed from Super is going to be used here to do a pretty good skip. Nice!
Go!
That's loop skip. And you don't actually have to hit the goal ring in mark speed. Just as a little safety net, you can, like, run past it a little bit. You know, devs take some pity on you.
We will not be seeing our next spin effect just yet because as Sonic is the main character, he's got a bunch of different gameplay styles in this game. This next one being Sonic and the Princess.
Let's go! There we go. There's the hype. Okay, so Sonic 06 also has a lot of resource management, which is not a thing you usually see in Sonic games. In the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, you'll see the action gauge. Most characters in this game have it, but the specifics vary between them. It's kind of like this game's magic system or special move bar. For Princess Elise, it will refill whenever you're on the ground and not using the fire shield, or if you kill enemies and collect their energy cores. And when it's active, you will be guarded from damage, you can inflict damage on contact, and you can cross sand without sinking into it, and water without drowning. As regular Sonic, it's pretty similar in how it recharges. The main difference is just he expends it on his gems. Some will consume a flat chunk every time they're activated. Others will slowly drain it while they're up. So just knowing what each of your gems do and whatnot, it's pretty important throughout the run.
This man, he nails that explanation every single time. All right, Kung Fu, what is our next spin effect going to be?
We're still holding strong with original Sonic 06.
Let's go!
So far.
All right, and now we got time for one donation for Crisis City's opening cutscene.
All right, we have $15 from Marcy Van Dyne, who says, good luck to Stelmo.
White Acropolis is first.
Perfect.
So in White Acropolis, we're going to be seeing the fourth of our 4 gameplay styles with Sonic the Hedgehog, him riding on top of snowboard. Now, the opening section of White Acropolis is a homage to Ice Cap from Sonic Adventure 1, where we're going to be able to jump off the ramps, and the Project 06 dev team decided to add a kick dash, which is kind of like a little burst of speed that we can use to maintain our top speed throughout this section, and we're going to need it because White Acropolis' terrain is a little bumpy.
Yeah, White Acropolis is just a weird stage in general. Most levels in 06 are meant to accommodate like any character's gameplay style, but White Acropolis really only works for the snowboard. And in general, the terrain, you can kind of see the camera clipping through it. Sometimes you'll get launched into the air. There were a ton of holes in the collision and kill planes that the devs have had to patch. And while looking through the original game, we found a document with a bunch of developer comments on all the stages. And for White Acropolis, they said, hey, we haven't been able to work on the object layout. We're waiting on something like outsourced work. So it seems that they just sent the White Acropolis terrain out to someone else. We don't know who, but it kind of explains some of the jank you may see in just a second.
Heading on into Section 2, we're going to be seeing our main method of movement with Sonic while he's got the gems, and that's blue gem spin kicking. The spin kick can maintain our boosted speed from the blue gem, and since we're not using the blue gem, we can refill our action gauge infinitely. What I did right there was use the sky gem and totally get that trick on the first try. While the blue gem works like an on-demand dash panel, the sky gem works like an on-demand spring, which we can use against vertical surfaces to allow us to get a huge vertical boost upward. And speaking of verticality, it's Miles Tails per hour.
Time to talk about the best character in the game. Now, going back to the action gauge, like I said, most characters have it. Tails uses it to fly. While you hold down the A button, you will rapidly deplete it and slowly ascend. Otherwise, you will slowly descend and slowly drain the gauge. There's a bit more to talk about, but we're back to Sonic, so we'll discuss Tails later.
Switching back over to Sonic, we're going to be seeing a pretty cool trick here. We're going to be going straight to the goal ring and using the slope of this rock and the blue gem to get a huge blue gem slope launch upward. Not the last time we're going to be seeing down the run. You know, I've been really appreciating you guys and all the clapping. It makes me feel really good up here. Now, we got time for our next spin effect and one donation for Crisis City.
Okay, I'm glad the last one was fast. Okay, it is still original Sonic 06. It's getting closer though. $100 from Cosmic Angel 233. This is right at the beginning of the run because they say, I've come to make an announcement. Shadow the Hedgehog will not win the bid war.
But he's right there. There he is. There he is.
There he is though. But this sort of Sonic story from Project 06.
Thank you, Cosmic. I appreciate that, man. Starting off in Crisis City's opening section, while White Acropolis was a homage to Ice Cap from Sonic Adventure 1, Crisis City is a homage to California. In the...
Shoutouts to LA.
So in this snowboard section, this is our second and final one, and fun fact, we actually got double the top speed here than we did in White Acropolis, just because this section's a little bit more stretched out. But Project 06 has been pretty swag up until this point, but let's get some swag even further. Let's get the 360! Oh! But the swag doesn't end right there, as we're going to jump off this platform, turn around 180 degrees, and ride down the rest of Crisis City slopes backwards. Project 06 is full of stuff like this, and I hope you're enjoying it so far. As we head into Section 2, we got one more mechanic of the gems to talk about, leveling them up.
Yeah, you thought the action gauge was done. No, that thing is loaded. If you turn your attention to the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, you'll see 3 little tick marks, one of which is red. That is the level of your currently equipped gem. All gems start at level 1 and can be leveled up to level 3 by collecting energy cores from defeated enemies. It takes about 3 kills to get a level. When you level up a gem, it does basically whatever it already does, but a little bit better. Like the blue gem consumes less meter with each activation. Nice, that is a kind of tight skip.
Thank you.
The purple gem will grant you 1 additional mid-air jump per level, which we will see put to use in just a second for a pretty sick corner cut.
So what we're going to be doing right after this automation is I'm going to be outrunning the energy cores with the blue gem and switching to the purple gem in midair. It's going to level it up to level 2 and allow us to do 2 extra jumps going over this huge pit and hitting the rail.
Nice.
Easy peasy. Now, as we head into section 3, the hardest and hypest section of this game, you guys have been great at giving some hype so far, but I need to hear as much hype as possible until we go supersonic. So here we go. Keep going, keep going.
Not there yet.
Not there yet. Keep it up. Keep it up. Keep it up. Let's go.
Yeah!
Thank you, guys. You're all wonderful. Thank you. Thank you.
No, you.
No, you. Headed into our Mach speed section here. We're supersonic once again.
All right, it's time to commentate over a straight line. That's about all I have to say now. There really isn't much going on in this section. We're invincible, so unless we bonk on something and fly into the tornado, we're good. So let's talk about customization. Sonic Project 06 gives you a lot of customization options in the game's menu. Most of these are aesthetic, like you can change the music, you can change or remove, change Sonic's shoes. But there is one that affects gameplay. You can customize the jump dash, or homing attack if you touch grass. Your options are straight, which does exactly what it sounds like, curved, which, you know, and legacy, which works how it did in Shadow the Hedgehog and Sonic Heroes, where it goes in the direction you are going. So if you're traveling up and you homing attack, you keep going up. If you're traveling forward, well, you go forward, and if you're going down, you get down real fast. That is very useful when combined with the bound attack, which in Project 06, when you activate that in the move, or in the air, it will refresh your jump dash up to 1 time. So if you can just like flick your thumb between X and A to quickly hit the ground, keep all your speed. We call that a drop dash, and it's going to be used a ton here.
Kung Fu, what is our next spin effect?
You know, Sonic Adventure 2 has jumped into the lead.
Yo, let's go. Okay, so starting off in Flame Core here, I was meaning to use the blue gem, but I had to switch spin effects. Oh goodness, this is called improvisation, everybody.
The backups?
The backups, let's
Nice.
go. All right, so I learned this earlier today from Mr. Kuriru, who's another runner of Project 06. Occasionally, we're gonna use the slope of this wall to do a huge blue gem over this cliff here and get to this first combat plateau, where we're gonna make short work of these enemies because Sonic is the combat-centric character of Project 06. We're gonna use the bound attack, which is gonna allow us to get over these doors just a little bit quicker, and into my favorite part of my favorite stage in the run, we're gonna see the lava river. The blue gem is really cool. Unfortunately, we don't have it quite at level 3, but at level 3 it works kind of like a boost. During its duration, it can barrel through enemies and objects. Into this second combat thing, we already have our purple gem at level 3, but if I didn't, I would use the energy cores here in order to level it up, because we can only level up the currently equipped gem to Sonic's feet. Then what we're going to do is miss a jump there, but that's all right, as we use a spin dash here, full of improvisation this run is, as we zoom into section 2 of Flame Core here. As we start in section 2, we're going to be seeing the purple gem once again. It's going to give us 2 extra jumps to get up here to this top route and grab the speed shoes. The speed shoes are really cool in Project 06 in that it not only increases our ground speed cap, but our air speed cap as well. Combine that with a level 3 purple gem and doing a triple jump in the air, and you can do some pretty crazy stuff. That's not the last time we're going to be seeing that in the run. Then what we're going to be doing is actually seeing another attribute of the purple gem. At level 3, you can go invisible with it. Pretty cool.
Pretty go. Okay, now we're on to Knuckles, who is undoubtedly the combat-focused character in Project 06, except no substitutes. But we don't actually get to see much of that right here. Instead, we're going to do a little bit of like pseudo-treasure hunting. We've got 5 orbs to track down and light up. These are not randomized, so it's pretty easy to go through, but they are technically on a timer. Got to do it within 1 minute, and looks like he did.
Yeah, thankfully I played this game once or twice before, but what we're doing is switching back to Sonic now, seeing another blue gem. Okay, Project 06. You win this time. As we use the Badnik bounce and then 3 purple gem jumps, corner cuts and platforming, run through these tube of fire, guys. We're scraping our heads off and hitting the goal ring, completing Flame Core in a time. What's that next spin effect for us, Kung Fu?
We're still at Sonic Adventure 2, but 1 is creeping up.
Keep it far away. Who put that on as an option?
I don't know. It might have been me. I'm sorry.
Gordon, I trusted you.
Yeah,
trusted you,
that was
man.
your first mistake.
Zooming on into Radical Train, I'm going to attempt to bring you guys into my brain and explain everything that's going on as it's happening. So we're starting off with some blue gem spin kicks, hopping onto this rail. We're going to homing dash into the tracks, use the sky gem to go over it, and use our 2 jump dashes to fall in the pit. Pretend that didn't happen. Starting at the beginning of Radical Train, we are going to be blue gem spin kicking onto this rail, using the sky gem against these train tracks to fly over them, and then use our 2 jump dashes to fall in the pit again. Oh my goodness. So what we're going to do this time is we're going to just take the springs instead. I'm sorry, I did my best. I learned that very recently, and unfortunately, sometimes things just can't happen. But continuing on in Radical Train, we are going to be leveling up the purple gem to level 2 with those 3 enemies. Then we're going to be using our 2 jumps in order to get over to this crane. We're going to use the blue gem to hop off of this crane and then hop off this conveyor belt, switch to the purple gem, level 2, gets us 2 jumps there. Defeat these enemies, hit this switch to open the door, use the sky gem to vault over these train tracks, and thankfully can make it this time as we land on top of the rail. And then we're going to switch back to the blue gem spin kick over to these speed shoes. We're going to be seeing the speed shoe and purple gem once again. Grab that item capsule to get over 50 rings. I think you know where this is going. As we blue gem, or rail, speed shoe, purple gem, jump, kind of mess around a little bit and transform into supersonic in order to hit this lever and head on into the next Mach speed section.
Radical Train is such a sick stage. I think it's a great showcase of what PO6 has to offer as a speedrun. Like, Sonic games are no strangers to these massive, massive skips that just break the stages in half. And PO6 does still give you that freedom, but usually in Sonic speedruns that involves clipping out of bounds or some other huge exploits. In PO6, it's just very smart application of your moveset and the terrain. Like, most of what Stelmo did there is, you know, unintentional. You're not meant to be sky jumping over the train tracks and jumping on top of cranes to skip platforming, but you can! And look at that! And we're going to see another aspect of that into the next stage, Tropical Jungle. Another Princess stage, and one of the first ones made. The developers still had hope, and good gosh, did they put like 50 ways to play through that stage. So what we're going to be doing is just weaving in between top, middle, bottom routes constantly, but not really for Section 1. It's a good time for donations.
All right, let's go. Okay, we have $25 from Kiuna, who says, very happy to see Stelmo on stage on SGDQ. I can say words. Very happy to see you here, my guy. Hope you guys will enjoy the run as much as everyone else. It's going great so far. Do you have one more?
Yeah, we got like 40 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet, okay. $50 from Anonymous, who says, I just love fan projects like Sonic Project 06. This is just the coolest. $20 from Amaya Sings. What's up, Amaya? Who says, long-time watcher, first time in person, and I am loving this Sonic run so much. I agree, I am too, it's amazing. $15 from Maddie, who says, I love Sonic game.
Just Sonic game.
That's it.
Why use lot word when few word do trick?
Few word good.
Few word good.
I
Few
agree.
word good.
Few word good. Automation better. Just gonna have a nice little cinematic moment as we drop Elise into the water. And nope, not quite. Not this release. Maybe next time.
Just to keep you on edge.
Yeah, just to keep you on edge.
Oh, wait. SA1 just pulled ahead.
Oh.
That's $6 off.
If it's still ahead by the time we finish Tropical Jungle, I guess we will have to see the orb.
Or
Finally see the orb at long last. Okay, section 2. This is what I was talking about. Now, this is like a 20-second long section. There are like 7 or 8 alternate routes. Just very fun challenge. Download this game. It's completely free on KSX's YouTube channel. Load into Sonic's Tropical Jungle. See how many different ways you can get to the end of this section. Like, what Stelmo's doing may look a little just random, but like he's jumping onto the end of a top route to hit a spring, get on a grind rail, and go straight to the goal ring.
Yeah, that's what I was doing.
Yeah.
Very intentional.
Yeah.
Very intentional. Is our spin effect SA1 for Kingdom Valley?
it sure is.
The orbs win.
It's bound to happen.
By $6, I'm telling you.
Incredible stuff. Well, we're going to see this really cool custom cutscene at the beginning of Kingdom Valley between Sonic and Silver. And of course, you guys will get to see your Sonic Adventure Ball. Now, at the beginning of the section, this was kind of the poster child for Sonic 06 and Project 06 by extension. If you thought Tropical Jungle Radical Train had a ton of multiple routes, you ain't seen nothing yet. There's basically like an entire game within a game here, and we're going to be skipping a lot of it. Because a lot of folks don't know, when I show them this for the first time, is that there's actually a hidden cave route at the very top of this wall here. And we're going to be using that and using the blue gem to get a slope launch off the exit to get all the way over to this platform. I'm going to attack this guy, and who needs eagles when we can just homing attack into the trigger ourselves.
USA! USA! Oh, he's gone.
Switching over to Silver the Hedgehog for a cameo. Gordon, would you like to explain what he's got going on?
No, I'm good.
But I'm paying you for this.
In what?
Channel points?
Whoa, okay, let's not get too drastic here. Okay, you didn't donate for Silver, so I'll keep this nice and brief. Silver is like the most complex character, uses the action gauge more than anyone else. He can even use it to fly as his S rank reward, which Stelmo has active right now. It cuts action gauge consumption by 35% while in a powered up state, and can just use that to skip past everything. You'll never see Silver again.
Switching back over to Sonic, we're gonna use that blue gem to land on here.
USA! 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 I just love America, man.
Happy 4th of July week, everybody. All right, so we are equipping the Rainbow Gem at the beginning of Section 3 here because guess what? We got our final Mach Speed section of the run coming up. But first, we got to level up that Rainbow Gem in order to gain some new abilities for Supersonic to perform the most iconic trick in the run, Castle Skip.
Really just a gauntlet of route improvisation here. Yeah, get the claps ready. So normally this is like a 20-second long automated sequence, which is very cool and cinematic, but we're trying to go fast. So we're just gonna homing attack around the enemies, jump off the ropes, and destroy this ancient architecture. Use the blue gem to get some extra distance. Swap to Rainbow Gem. At level 2, it grants you increased jump height, and at level 3, it grants you the Arrow of Light to do
Castle Skip Pod. Using that level 3 ability, the Arrow of Light, which for the entire action gauge, for the cost of the entire action gauge, shoots Supersonic forward in a burst of speed. Very nice stuff. We're going to be seeing it once again here to avoid some more rail automation, I suppose. We also got the increased jump height from level 2 that Gordon mentioned, and we are going to defeat these enemies. And our boy Silver's coming back. He's going to say hi. Now, he's trying to defend us against these enemies here. I don't know if Supersonic needs the help, but it's the thought that counts. Thanks for switching sides, buddy. Zooming on into the Mach Speed section, our final one. I'm going to throw it over to Kungfufruitcup as we stare in awe at how beautiful this section looks.
It is beautiful. Okay, I have a question for you. $25 from Whiplash810 who says, does Sonic snore like honk shoe or honk me me me? This is also important. What do you think?
I have no idea. I've never seen him sleep before.
I feel like, I don't know, a honk shoe maybe?
No, I could
Tails
see it.
is more of a honk me me me.
He's like a shark, sleeps
Yeah.
normally.
We also have $10 from Support Bot who says, fun fact, Sonic 06 is the first and only game to show Dr. Eggman's eyes. They're a beautiful icy blue color. Keeping the tradition to donate during Sonic Block. Good luck to the runners and greetings from Spain, less than 3.
Oh. Hello from America. Finishing off Kingdom Valley here. Also, fun fact, I'm not even playing the game on max settings right now. I know that Beats on the Project 06 development team worked a lot with Chaos to up-res these 17-year-old textures to the modern day. And they look fantastic, even better on max settings. Kung Fu, what is our next spin effect?
It's still Sonic Adventure 1.
Oh my goodness. Who let my chat in here? All right, switching on over to Aquatic Base. While we've seen a lot of stages with multiple pathways, this is more of a finale stage, so it's more of a linear gauntlet with, you could say, challenge. We're going to be seeing a lot of blue gem spin kicking, lots of purple gemming, and we also get to see the gimmick of Aquatic Base, the magnetic poles. As we enter this next room, we're going to activate one, and when we activate it, it's going to immediately defeat every enemy in a radius, even lagging the game with just how powerful it is. I don't know why Eggman decided to congregate all of his mechs near these things that instantly defeat him. I'm not the guy with 300 IQ, though. We are going to be seeing this little preview of what's coming up, where normally we're supposed to hop on this giant magnetic orb and get over this bottomless pit, but we've got the gems. So I'm going to be using that blue gem along with this purple gem in order to land on these really tiny footholds right here and make our way over to Miles once again.
Oh, hey, remember this guy? Time to talk about him, I guess, a little bit more. So, if we harken back to White Acropolis, I mentioned that you fly upwards by holding the A button and you slowly descend by releasing it. Now, optimal flight for Tails actually involves kind of butterfly tapping or matching the button a little bit. There are different rhythms you can do if you want to like gain more height or gain more distance or just a nice mix of both. But honestly, it's a lot less complicated than it sounds. It's just like... Anyways, you can also tail swipe off of enemies or objects nearby to pop them into the air a bit and pause the action gauge decay. And that is very helpful because if that kills an enemy and you collect the energy core, you can fly for a little bit longer. Tails movement is simple but very satisfying, and it's just a shame like we don't have a whole stage for him.
Yeah, who knows, maybe Chaos will patch the game and we'll be seeing another bit of Tails at the end of the run here. But for now, we're switching back to Sonic, entering Section 2, where we're going to do a little bit of bowling at the end of this hallway, a couple blue gem spin kicks, and then we're going to spin dash here and strike against these enemies to open the door. Instead of taking the automation, we're going to slope launch off it instead, and then we are going to just defeat these enemies, head on through the rest of Section 2, and yeah, it's going to be some pretty cool stuff. Blue gem spin kick through this hallway here, and we're going to blue gem bound attack against these magnetic poles to defeat these guys, level up another gem we'll be seeing later, and switch over to Knuckles.
There he is! Okay, it's finally time to talk about the combat-focused character of the game. Knuckles has this really cool, like, 3-hit combo attack that he can do. He's got a nice homing attack in the form of the screwdriver. He can, like, ground pound to stun all the enemies around him or activate switches. I can't wait. Thank you, that's a good show.
What game were you watching? He just glides.
Where'd he go?
Well, we're never seeing Knuckles again. Well, actually, we might be with the Easter eggs. But regardless, instead of taking the magnetic orb once again, I'm going to instead land on this really tiny platform. Got it. I get those $5 we betted before the run. And we are going to be zooming into the final combat section here using the green gem, which initiates a giant whirlwind tornado. It's going to defeat these enemies. And then we are going to use the blue gem spin kicking once again. And now I'm going to show off the 3 gems we didn't see. The first one is the red gem, which slows everything down, including Sonic. So unfortunately, it's not too useful for the run. The white gem upgrades our homing attack to the homing smash, does more damage against enemies, and the yellow gem initiates the Thunder Guard. While we can't double jump with this Thunder Shield, though we might be able to later in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, that one uses the action gauge in order to... Thank you. That one uses the action gauge in order to take damage for us instead of taking our rings, and it also attracts rings, which is really nice for getting S ranks, which you need all of the S ranks in order to get the rainbow gem at all. So pretty cool stuff. Hopping into our final stage here of the run, Tails' Wave Ocean. Hey, look at that. He did patch the game.
Joe!
Kung Fu, what is going to be our last spin effect for the main part of the run?
You're not going to like it. Sonic Adventure 1 still.
Oh my
It keeps getting more love.
Oh my goodness. Well, that's totally fine, I guess, as we go ahead and go through this more epilogue stage. And since there's not a whole lot going on, I figured to do my shout outs right now. Firstly, I want to shout out to the Games Done Quick Games Committee for accepting Project 06. I hope you guys in the crowd and everyone at home have enjoyed this run so far. Thank you. We got those Easter eggs coming, so definitely don't tune out just yet, and we got some awesome Sonic runs afterward. But thank you guys so much. I've been watching GDQ since 2013, and it's just incredible to actually be here on the stage supporting such a fantastic cause. And thank all to you guys for donating for Sonic's run, as well as it's definitely the coolest one in the game, at least at this point. Secondly, I would like to shout out the Project 06 dev team, lead developer Chaos X, Beats, Gotta Play Fast, Jeracyclo Gaming, and Sonic Fox for over the last 7 years, developing just an absolutely incredible Sonic fan game. Thirdly, I'd like to shout out the PO6 speedrunning community, Mr. Gordon Ramsay for his amazing commentary behind me, the people back on the bonus couch and in the Discord as well, for just being so fun and inviting to newcomers and then giving trouble to people who should be getting better times on the leaderboards than they do. And then finally, I want to give a huge shout out to Sega themselves for allowing these passionate and talented fans to create these free fan projects with our favorite characters. Now, normally what would happen is we are going to just end Tails Wave Oceans, and that would be the end of the run. But you guys donated for that awesome Easter egg incentive, and man, do we have some Easter eggs for you, let me tell you. What was that, 2630 real time? That's pretty good.
2630.
That was pretty good.
Pretty good.
Just a few silly things in Radical Terrain that we won't talk about, but it's fine.
No, you got that first try.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Kung Fu, if that spin effect is still going, we could take a new one for the Easter eggs.
It's the same.
Of course.
It's always.
Of course.
I'm not here to help you out, apparently. I wish I could.
All right, so for the Easter eggs, in the test stage that's available to play, if you're a fan of Dragon Ball Z, you might recognize some of this music. Sonic's Easter eggs, he's got a couple of them. So the first one we're going to see is there's a hidden portal if we come all the way over here. And then blue gem ourselves up to the top and enter this portal. We're going to be seeing Knuckles again. And Knuckles is going to be doing some treasure hunting. So normally in a different Project 06 story, we would be collecting these keys in the stages. But Knuckles gets to kind of just go around and look for these. And
There's a bunch.
there's a bunch.
There it is.
Where is this key? Where is it? Is it down here, you think?
I never go
Of
into
course
this
it is.
stage.
What? You don't know where it is? This is the best part of the game.
I mean, yeah, this is all I run, actually. It's a stage Knuckles Hunter.
You do, what is it the SA2 runners do? Knuckles Centurions?
Yeah, the Centurion for the test
The Project
stage.
06 Stress Stage Centurion.
For those who don't know, they pick a treasure hunting stage and run it 100 times. Is it like 20 sets of 5? The SA2 community is going to kill me for not knowing this.
All right, I think the last key is gonna be up here at the very top of this pillar here. Cool thing to talk about with Knuckles that we don't really see is that climbing upward is actually not the fastest way to do it. The fastest way to do it is just constantly grab the wall and then just jump off it. So you guys get to really see that orb as we go up this really tall place. Unfortunately, the key wasn't up there though, so we're just gonna glide.
Just glide.
Here.
We just get to see more of Knuckles.
Yeah, just more Knuckles. Maybe time for a donation.
Maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. I have plenty of donations. $50 from Subnats, who says, first time catching a GDQ run live. Great to see Project 06 getting on there. Shout outs to the P06 speedrun community.
Let's go.
Awesome.
Now we are in section 2 of the test stage, and we're going to be heading to our second Easter egg. So if we go up here to this pillar, there is a hidden stage mirror. So in the original game, it had hub worlds, and you would enter the stages via these mirrors. But this one leads us to something a little bit different. So at the TGS, as the Tokyo Game Show 2006 demo, you actually got to play 3 different variations of Kingdom Valley. Of course, because Sonic won, we were going to play Sonic's rendition, which isn't too different from what we saw before. It's just section 1 of Kingdom Valley with a little bit of a lighting difference and a couple other things change as well. Enemies are in a different spot. So I'll be doing a little bit of a different route, but it's not going to be anything too drastically different from what we saw in Sonic's story here. But I guess we kind of get to talk about the new thing now.
A little bit.
Yeah, so because Chaos X is so incredibly awesome and generous, he has given me the opportunity to showcase a little bit of the next release of Project 06. So if you've never seen Project 06, currently it is in the silver release. It's in the silver release, which means we have all Sonic, Shadows, and Silver stages available to us. And the next release that'll be coming out at some point will contain all of the bosses and the final full-length stage that we have not gotten to play yet in Project 06, the end of the world. So I am going to go ahead real quickly. I just want to show the credits here before we switch instances. Gonna show the credits here. Just thanks everybody. Hey, look, Gordon, that's you. Where? At the top. You're at the top right.
Oh,
That's you.
finally some recognition.
Good that they got the chef on it.
Yeah. Legally distinct Ramsey.
All right, I'm going to be, oh, hello, desktop.
Hello.
We're going to be hiding this because we don't want anybody to know where the secrets are. But I'm going to showcase it to everyone on stream, and that's fine.
Yeah, it's okay.
I am going to be loading a small demo of Project 06's End of the World, which is pretty sick. We're going to be going through 3 different sections, and I hope you guys are excited for it. So for the first time ever, Project 06's End of the World in 3, 2, 1, let's go! So starting off, we are going to be beginning in Omega's section. The End of the World is a giant gauntlet stage that normally has 7 different places that you can go to, but we're just going to be seeing 3 of them, doing a small little tour. Omega controls a lot like the mechs from Sonic Adventure 2 and how we did in Sonic Heroes. Got a lot of long-range options, very easy to defeat enemies that are long-range with all the different things we can do, and he's also got his melee attack returning from Sonic Heroes. The End of the World has a little gimmick that we just saw right there.
So there are these 2 kinds of eyes, 2 flavors, if you will. There's purple, which will suck you in, and if you make contact with it, it's just instant death. They have been changed a little bit from the original game, I believe, so I don't think they're quite as impressive. The other flavor, the one that killed Stelmo, is the orange ones. You can see it in the distance there. They will fire off random objects, usually just wooden or metal crates, and usually not too much of a threat. But apparently that one can just send you to your grave.
Yeah, normally these eagle statues, they subdue the eyes of Solaris for a very small amount of time, but it looks like one got a little pot shot off before the eagle statue subdued it. The first section here with Omega is actually a little interesting because this platform, you can complete this section in 40 seconds. If you get to this platform before 40 seconds, that's the fastest you can do it because it's cycle-based. But grabbing our first Chaos Emerald, we are now switching over to Amy Rose, who has gotten the biggest glow-up Project 06 has to offer, she is night and day compared to her original game's appearance. She's got the double jump working much more like a double jump. She's got the hammer jump from Sonic Adventure 1, sending her a little bit more horizontally than vertically to accommodate for that double jump. She's also got a couple other moves like the spin hammer attack that she can use on the move and allow her to defeat tougher enemies a little bit easier. And then, yeah, that's pretty much all we're going to be doing. She's also got the Badnik bounce like most of the other characters have. Sorry, Omega. And getting a little pot shot there. Thankfully, we had rings. Oh, we also didn't talk about that the Eyes of Solaris, the purple ones, they insta-kill. So regardless if you have rings or not, whoa.
Jeez, that was scary.
Missing that box right there, but hey, Shadow Maidens! So Shadow the Hedgehog is really awesome in Project 06. He controls very similarly to Sonic without the use of his gems, but here we're just going to be seeing some basic movement. He's got the Chaos attack, which is a little different than the standard homing attack. You're seeing me use the Tornado Kick here, which is absolutely busted in Project 06, but another thing that's really cool here is in the next release of Project 06, Shadow will be able to activate his Chaos boost on the move, just like I showed right there. It's going to add a little bit more it's just going to help out a little bit more, making his section flow a little bit better. But as we hit this Chaos Emerald, that's going to be time! For my final shout-outs, I want to shout out my mom, my dad, and my brother for being a huge support here in getting Project 06 to GDQ, as well as my amazing girlfriend, Haley, and my dog, Bonzo, for always helping out back at home. I also want to thank Midnight Vesper for pointing me in the right direction for creating a submission video for the games committee, and I'm glad that they really enjoyed it because it was super awesome to run Project 06 here. That being said, thank you all so much for watching. If you would like to see more of me, I've got my Twitch channel, Stelmo98, you've seen all, and I just released 3 brand new videos. The first one on my main channel, Stelmo98, that I did with a couple extra YouTubers, is a collage of all my character bios where I explain all the abilities in Project 06. And if you did donate for Shadow or Silver, don't worry, because Gordon and I, before the event, recorded 2 separate runs that you can go view if you want to see what those look like. But do it in a new tab, because we've got an incredible run from Arctic with Sonic Roboblast 2 coming up next. Thank you so much. And that was Sonic Project 06.